looks like we have pictures of the R1. It's real. All right, so I'm mountain biking out here outside of Las Vegas, but we've seen the photos now. This thing is real. I've been saying for a while now that this camera was real, that it was out there, and I had people in the comments saying, it's not real, we haven't seen it, no one's seen this thing. But now here we go. The leaked specifications that we've been seeing don't come out of nowhere. This camera has been seeded into the hands of professional photographers since last year. And now it's going to be in the hands of photographers that are going to be shooting at sporting events. This was an F1 event where these photos were taken. And I have heard from more than one person that the leaked specs that we got at the beginning of this year and that I've been reporting on over the last few months have specifically been from folks who were seeded this camera at the end of last year and early this year. Obviously, those folks are under NDA, and they may actually have different versions of the camera. So there might be some things that would pinpoint one seed photographer versus another. They're not going to risk the opportunities that they have to get these cameras and to test them out for Canon if you're a Canon ambassador. But what do we see in these photos? So number one, we see a super rugged, grippy texture. I said in my last video when we talked about the R1 that the images that we saw had this really kind of diamond plate look. Much more grippy, I would say, than the R3, which is grippier than previous iterations of those large body cameras, which goes to show that this thing is specifically for your photo handheld shooters or monopod shooters, folks shooting sports, wildlife, and action. That is what this camera is going to be designed for. But the body definitely looks chunky. This is a beefy camera. So the days of the Canon R being a small, minuscule little camera in your hand, definitely gone. We can see that it has the multifunction hot shoe. It has the top display. Might be LCD, might be LED, might be OLED that we see like in the R, the R5, the R3, right? Top level stuff. I think we can pretty clearly say that it's going to have the IAF auto detection. Obviously these photos don't show us what the AF looks like. Just comparing this camera to the lens that's on it, I think it was the 50mm 1.2 RF, this is a beefy camera. But I thought maybe for old time's sake, we could go over these specs one more time. So this camera is going to be coming with a 30 megapixel sensor with a readout under 1/10 of a millisecond, which means that it will not need a mechanical shutter. It'll shoot at 30, 40, and 60 frames per second, continuous, unlimited, fully featured, those speeds being dependent on the compression that you apply to your Canon RAW files. We're going to have machine learning neural engine based AI autofocusing with both object recognition and object tracking, with the ability to specifically identify a subject in a crowd or in a commotion and identify it through that. 120 frame per second burst and 240 frames per second burst with limited functionality. Combined with the Digic X and the Digic Accelerator, dynamic range, these AI features, and these buffer speeds are going to be realized in this camera. The video getting a bit of a boost up to 6.7K, 4.2K, up to 60 frames per second, probably a 240 frame per second HD mode, and 12-bit Cinnamon Raw Light video recording. Not only are we seeing these everywhere, we are hearing them from everyone. These are going to be the features that we're going to see in these cameras. I'm sure there's going to be lots of other stuff, and the AI, here's the thing to notice, okay? I'm saying this now. Here's the thing that Canon is going to tout as the top line features of this camera. Its speed, its durability, and its autofocusing system. It won't be the resolution, though the sensor will be a huge component of that. It's not going to be the resolution, and it's not going to be the video features, though that may be mentioned as a part of it. Their primary drive will be autofocus with the AI subject tracking, the speed of this sensor, and the improved image quality out of this sensor, even at those 60 frames per second, 1:3 compression ratios. That's what we're going to hear on this camera. So that's it for me, but stick around if you're interested in mountain biking. I'm gonna throw in some footage from my ride today. And if you're interested in mountain biking with me, go ahead and head over to my other channel, Mountain Bike Missionaries. We're very small, there aren't many videos on there, but if you're interested in mountain biking and the creation of content around mountain biking, go ahead and let me know down in the comments if that would be something that you'd be interested in. Let me know down in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, but even better, head over to the Mountain Bike Missionaries channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. That will tell me. You can also find us, the Mountain Bike Missionaries, over on Instagram. We're at Mountain Bike Missionaries. And if you're interested in my bike, I'll put some stats here up on the screen like we do with cameras. All right, thanks everybody. I'm gonna put my helmet back on. I'm gonna drop my helmet on the ground. Always wear your helmet, kids. And finish this trail.